Today I wanted to share with you 11 hacks that you could use when starting seeds so you could grow the best food in your gardens for you and your family. Many of the things that you'll need for the hacks you already have at home, and some of them you might be throwing away. So why not implement these hacks and get a better garden? For sowing seeds in soil, add 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of seeds to a spice or salt shaker and lightly shake over cells. If you're sowing seeds more densely, like when growing microgreens, you can add all the way up to 3 tablespoons in the shaker and shake over the microgreen tray so that it will evenly disperse the seeds. In some areas it will miss because the seeds are dry and will roll a bit, so you may have to use your finger and get in those extra places it's missed. It would also help if you moist the seeds when you're spreading the seeds with your finger, as it will make it easier. If you can't afford a heat mat, here's a quick and simple cheap solution you could do at home. Fill 2 large Ziploc bags with hotish warm water under a tap, about 1/3 of the way full. Then try and get the air out gently without spilling any water on the countertops. Seal the bag. Your DIY heat bag will give off a lot of heat and help the plants. One note, if you're putting heavy trays of soil with seedlings on the heat mat, the weight of the soil on the bag can cause the bag to leak by the zippy thing. You must put a container or a tray with no holes underneath to catch any water that leaks. A real heat mat will do better for your seed starting trays as it has no water that will leak. Once you replace the tablecloth, don't throw away the old one because tablecloths are good at reducing mess when you are gardening. Simply open the tablecloth on the ground or on a table that you're working on. The old tablecloth will catch up any dirt when you're potting or starting seedlings. Then, once you're finished, you can take the tablecloth, roll it up, and throw the dirt outside. The work surface will be clean and prevent any mess. Take a single coffee filter, cut it so that it fits the bottom of your planting cup, then place the filter in the cup. The coffee filters will allow excellent drainage, which is important for the plants to prevent overwatering. The coffee filter will stop the soil from finding its way out onto your table or on your windowsill. The coffee filter also allows more of the water to absorb into the soil rather than draining out too quickly through the drainage holes. Have you ever placed some plants on the windowsill and they grow toward the light? Well, that's because plants will stretch towards the light to get energy from the sun. Plants that grow toward the light are very stringy, long, and are weaker, sometimes to what gardeners refer as leggy seedlings. An easy DIY fix is to purchase some white Bristol boards from Dollarama. I believe they're about $1.75 for 2 boards. The boards will reflect the light that's coming in from the window back onto the plants, which will prevent them from growing towards the light as they'll have even lighting. Finish using the washroom? Well, perhaps you have a few toilet paper rolls or even a few dozens. Save these rolls in a dedicated box or a bin until you're ready to garden. The next time you're sowing seeds, cut 4 slits in one end of the row, then fold over one after the other in a clockwise rotation. The long cardboard seedling cells is ideal for planting beans and peas. With paper towel rolls, you could get 3 seedling cells from 1 row. Easily take grown seedlings out of the cell to pot them up. Short color pencil is easier to handle sometimes with long, leggy seedlings, as it could be a little difficult to remove from the cells carefully. To do it safely, gently poke the pencil in the drainage hole underneath and hold the soil, not the plant, with 2 fingers. Then you can hold the soil from the cell in the middle and transplant. If your soil is crumbling apart when you hold it, next time moisten your soil for 5 to 10 minutes before transplanting it. You can reuse an old hard plastic water bottle with a straw. To water seedlings, you must use a straw water bottle because the air hole will limit the amount of water that comes out. It works just like how you would poke a small hole in a 500 milliliter bottle. But your hard plastic water bottle will last years longer. Many times after planting, you may have some extra seeds, and then you want to try to put them back in the package and the seeds spill. You have 2 options. You can waste time gathering each and every tiny seeds, or you can scrap the seeds. So here's a quick DIY solution. Take a sheet of paper, rip it in half, then roll it in a circular motion to the other end. until you form a cone shape like a funnel. And then you can tape the paper flap to the funnel. You can adjust the opening of the funnel by undoing the tape on the funnel and rolling tighter the funnel. You can easily now put seeds back into your packet without spilling. Take an old milk jug or an apple juice jug and cut it like this. And make sure you cut the entire bottom off the milk jug, or else it won't scoop soil, as it will have a plastic that will block soil from getting in. 1, 2, 3. Now you have your very own DIY scoop that you could use to scoop soil to put in pots or in trays. Using the old scraps that came from our jug, cut them into strips. These will be cheap plant labels. For long plants label, use a whole milk jug and cut into long strips from the 4 sides. If you plan to use the labels outdoor, make sure you mark it with a UV-resistant marker, or else the writing will fade. I sure had a lot of fun doing these hacks, and I used some of them when starting seeds and doing my seedling stuff. I hope you too will use these hacks in your garden so that you could grow a lot of good food. And until next time, continue to learn and grow. Goodbye!